And we are live. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to Gods vs. Eldritch Horrors, our campaign where every single player is playing a god-level demigod who is going mad at every session, a little bit more mad at every session that he passes through. And tonight we have a new player playing Lumpa, the goddess of blade-singing wizards and the mother of force, or perhaps it's just, it's just the consequences of all the changes that Lumpa's been going through since she traveled to the Far Realm the last time. And yes, that was a fun ride. So, for those of you who haven't watched this campaign before, we have we are going to start today yet another glistening chapter of our campaign. This campaign it works in arcs where it kind of has two speeds, and between one chapter of one arc and the next one, there's quite a lot of downtime. So there's where our gods are dealing with their dominions, and they're dealing with all the attention they need to give to their devotees and their followers and so on. They have quite a lot of maintenance to do in their pantheons, and then sometimes they take a holiday together, and they decided that the holiday sometimes is the Far Realm, as they have all of them share this weird curiosity about the Far Realm. All of them for different reasons, of course, and all of them are slightly losing their grip on reality, particularly after all the revelations that have happened in the previous session. So the premise here is that the multiverse strains, the gods bicker, and the Far Realm watches. It ever watches, and is insidious and pervasive across the multiverse, and it's always hungering for more. And somewhere in a labyrinth of tides and thought wrought, our or should I say half-divine heroes seek to untangle the nightmares, knowing at reality's edges. All of them are looking for the truth, but the truth can be slippery, and perception is a riptide, and every answer breeds another question, apparently. The more they shine light into the darkness, the more they realize how big the darkness is. And within the briny maze where they were the last time, they heard some eldritch whispers and all sorts of questions that may have just been ringing louder in their minds. And that's what motivates them to enter this next chapter. That those experiences were far more traumatic and perhaps had far more deeper consequences than our gods have anticipated. Some of them came back from there doubting their own perception of reality. Some of them came back from there going particularly crazier and actually kind of getting more interested in the Far Realm. Others were so overwhelmed by the reality and the truth that they were learning about, that at the last moment they froze and entered a sort of vegetative state. And others got back from there so introspective that they actually gained some sort of power to make other people even become introspective as they are, and rethink their beliefs. So yes, the briny maze was quite an experience, quite an arc. But the madness of the Far Realm, if you can call that, is always calling them, and it seems that they've managed to get the interest of whatever that creature was that calls itself the Void Scriber. But whatever that entity is, it seems to be ever watching them, and with interest. But before we go back into more detail, let's introduce our party tonight. We have Manny Marco, our god of purity of soul, crusading, zealous, and possibly ready to smite the concept of doubt itself, perhaps. Perhaps, that's a strong perhaps, emphasis on perhaps. He senses a foulness all around him. And it's not just mildew. It seems that Munimarco is now more wary of the presence of the far realm than ever. Munimarco, say hello to our audience. Tell us a little bit about how you're feeling tonight.
Hello. Well, after his last trip into the far realm, Roberto Marco did not have a good time. He was expecting war and, righteous crusadery. Instead, he got mind games and shenanigans. He has not had a good time. Pretty sure he is seeking whatever the god version of therapy is. He's got some things to get off his chest, right? Poor guy. Anyways, that is where he is tonight.
Very well. Very well. And next we have Arleth, our god of holistic knowledge. You see, holistic's not just a buzzword, guys. This raccoon-looking god slash bard slash wizard. Is that an instrument he carries around? Yes, it is. And he's the one who got very introspective, very stoic now, very serene, and is increasingly more introverted, suspicious of the material plane now, suspicious of the principles around, and something about the far realm is off, but very attractive. What he learned there in that book. Oh, you can't stop thinking about that book. You wanted to go back there and finish reading. But that's saying a lot. Arleth, say hello to our audience. Tell us a little bit about how you're feeling tonight.
Well, after a few months of bureaucracy and bastion tending and domain tending, I think I'm ready to get back out into it.
Very good.
It seems like the person controlling me even has been away for a while too, and is itching to get back into it.
Yes, indeed. Dealing with its own revolutionary threat of ruling to overtake, risking to overtake the world, stopping the next AI, revolution.
Of course, yes.
Yes, and with that, next we have Ixtihu, protector of wild magic sanctuaries, feathered, feral, and ferociously wet now. After he come back of the brine maze and got some squid-like experience to him, and I don't know how that happens, Ixtihu, but once you go squid on wild shape, even after you go back to normal, somehow you always find some squid-like goo around your skin. It's when you go to the beach and you think you keep finding sand everywhere. Now it's like that. When you turn into a giant squid, you come back to normal and you think that you would come back to normal, but now you're just finding goo everywhere. It's like it's never.
Yeah, I mean, there's always a little ink in the feathers. You just can't get it out.
No, it's
always there.
and he's a druidic. He's our druidic demigod, and he's the one that continues to push forward in the research on the far realm, as he feels that perhaps preempting an attack is probably the best defense for his wild magic sanctuaries than just sitting around and waiting for the far realm to do its next move. He's been defending life with Tooth Claw and even tidal forces. Ixtihu, say hello to our audience. Tell us a little bit about how you're feeling.
I am feeling much better. I have been tending to my domain and helping to heal the forest after that horrid blaze. It is calming.
Very well.
That is all.
Very well. And then finally we have Lumpa, our goddess of blade singers and mother of the force. Usually a hurricane of duality and sass. Now she has been recently returned from her almost awake in coma, and as she was frozen for the entirety of the last chapter, but like a loading screen that won't budge, eventually you reset her, and 10 seconds later she's good to go, and here she is with us. Lumpa, say hello to our audience. Tell us a little bit about how you're feeling tonight.
Hello, hi everyone. I'm excited, bit nervous, but I guess I'm ready to make some more questionable decisions.
Very well.
Put it that way. Cause some trouble.
Somehow we don't doubt that. So yes, previously in Gods versus Eldritch Horrors, after facing the Void Scriber, who was with his reality shattering riddles and questions, you can still remember his when he asked you guys, it's still ringing in your mind, what shore did you leave and what shore awaits you? And you've answered that question, but you keep rethinking about your answers. And yes, two of our champions, Lumpa and Arlet, succumbed to some sort of temporal paralysis, and got in a suspended animation with their thoughts halfway finished. Well, I should say, Lumpa was in suspended animation. Arlet was talking to himself all along and very introspective, because he sneaked away from the group for a little bit and went back to read that book. And yes, that just left Arathis, Ixtihul, and Money Marco to delve deeper into the maze's last and most unhinged layer, I should say. In there, they started to move carefully, sidestepping traps and resisting the creeping madness until they find themselves facing a truly grotesque entity of the Far Realm. They discovered they were in the lair of some entity called Ilvash, and or at least a fragment of what this Ilvash truly is, and in some sort of it had the power of a demigod. It could corrupt, and apparently it was corrupting, as in Ilvash had woven the entire dungeon around itself, kind of a sprawling trap. Designed to lure material plane entities into its influence. And after a fierce confrontation, the trio managed to vanquish Ilvash to the deep ethereal, unraveling slightly concerning secret. The party discovered there were two exits out of that, like the Void Scriber had anticipated. One was a scrying pool / portal that was showing a Faerunian village, escape back to this small town named Phandalin. And was a giant portal that would take our party back to the material plane. And the other one was this fractured obelisk that had been pulsing and had been stitched back together with membranes and all sorts of flash-like materials. And after some investigation, the party thinks that that was some sort of conjuration obelisk that would send them deeper into the Far Realm. And they had a choice, a looming choice. Where did they want it to go? Did they want it to go into the Far Realm? Or did they want it to go back into the material plane? And they decided they wanted to go back home. Arathis had has been affected, too much negativity in him from his experiences in the Far Realm, and had been affected adversely by all his experiences, and he ended up convincing the party, even those who wanted to go into the deep Far Realm, Ixtihul, no pointing fingers, and eventually said, yeah, you have other chances, and you've decided to leave that obelisk there and head back to the material. And since then, many months have passed. until Ixtihu. Throughout Lumpa and Arleth, you and Manimarco hear that Lumpa and Arleth were in Teros. Remember Teros? The holiday place where all the gods go to let it loose, because in there demigods walk among people, and the usual protocols of the pantheons of the multiverse don't actually apply. It's like a holiday place. It's for the demigods and gods of the multiverse, where they can go intervene as much as they want on the day-to-day business. They can have adventures, because they're not a celebrity. They're just like every other demigod that's walking around and eating fried chicken wings like everybody else. And Lumpa and Arleth, in the research, have discovered that in the world that lies beneath the surface world of Teros, there is this very large complex of caves and tunnels, and they have heard a rumor of this somewhat, should we call, a scientist, an innovator, someone that by the name of Lord See You, like see you, and like see you later. And this Lord See You call himself a chief design architect of bodies, of eugenics, of body horror and eugenics. And you guys hear that he's been doing experiments in his secret laboratory called the Terminal Excrescence. And in this excrescence laboratory, you hear that Lord See You, who belongs to an ancient and respected noble house of mind flayers, apparently, or aberrations. Apparently, he's been capturing and imprisoning and running experiments on all sorts of creatures in the attempt of creating divinity in his laboratory. He thinks he can grow a demigod in a test tube. And in this vile laboratory, where Lord See You apparently performs terrible procedures of all manners of creatures, is a kind of a little fortress. And Arleth and Lumpa, in their research in the underworld of Teros, in the underground world of Teros, they think they found this terminal excrescence suspended 100 feet below this massive cavern's ceiling and 200 feet above the floor, via web-like cords of neoplasmic flesh. From the outside, the lab just looks like this distended orb of pulsating meat hanging over a bilious lake of its own drippings. Let me give you a little bit of a sneak peek. And as you, of course, that Lumpa and Arleth invited the remainder of the party. They invited Aratis, who said, "Thanks, but no thanks. I'm done with Far Realm stuff for now." And then they invited Manimarco and Ixtihu. And for whatever reason, deep inside you, both of you said, "Yeah, let's go check that out." And here are you, all four of you, standing in front of this lake of bile that seems to be dripping out of this pulsating ball of flesh. And for whatever reason that led Lumpa and Arleth here, it seems that you guys think that this is the laboratory, and this is the there's got to be an entrance to it or something. So I'm gonna give you guys a few minutes to reacquaint yourselves after some time. It's been quite a few months since you've seen each other. In fact, it has been a total of 12 months. Oh, guys, it's been a year since you've seen each other. And now you are here, standing outside this laboratory all together again, as you learn that there is this ancient mind flayer looking fellow, aberration looking fellow, creating gods in his laboratory that is made of flesh. Sounds like fun. So,
Sounds like heresy.
yes, sounds like the kind of thing you would find underneath a holiday place, right? Exactly. So let me give you guys some moments. I'll shut up myself so that you can think about how you're gonna approach this.
I mean, the option of we burn the thing down is always viable. Plan salt the earth is my vote.
I am inclined to agree.
Although we should probably find the guy first and then salt. You wouldn't want him to restart if we blow up his place of business and then he just comes back. So pull out the roots and then salt the earth. Also, I find the idea of creating divinity in a test tube laughable. Seems highly unlikely. Mostly because divinity is kind of like a catch-22. You need it to get it. If you don't have it, you don't have it.
Well, I mean, I guess if he has divinity, he could create test tube babies with divinity.
But for some reason, I feel like if he had divinity, he wouldn't be worried so much about making divinity, would he?
You know.
I find the whole thing offensive.
The orb or the concept? Because the orb is offending me right now. This thing is gross.
All of it.
Okay.
All of it is offensive.
The concept offends me spiritually. The orb offends me physically. All of it should burn.
Agreed.
And
Agree, yeah.
so you all decide to burn, and then how exactly do you intend to burn this giant sphere of flesh dripping with bile? What is the approach here? I mean, are you going inside? The only thing
Where exactly are we? Like at this point, are we like at the entrance to?
you are exactly where the camera is right now, standing underground, looking at this thing 200 feet above your head, 100 feet from the ceiling of the cave. There's some light that comes from a hole that goes all the way to the surface, and it's probably about 500 feet deep hole. You see that this was some sort of ancient temple, but at this point you can't even recognize temple of what, because you can see on the walls there's some ancient structures of some sort of underground temple, and this flash-like thing that is raised there in the air seem to have made this its new home. As you look at it, roll an investigation for me, actually, all of you.
Oh yes, that thing he has expertise in. Vapor. Oh, come on. I deserve that. I don't know why it rolled twice, but I deserve that.
So the whole cave is about 300 foot diameter, and the same is the same as the ceiling. It's about 300 foot high, not accounting for the hole on the ceiling. As you were looking from the outside, there are no obvious entrance to this. Money Markle, you have no idea how to get in, but Arlet and Lumpa, while you were waiting for them, you were already investigating, and Lumpa has a theory. Lumpa thinks that those sphincter-like parts in the outside are actually entrances. And when you look around, you see at least 2 or 3 sphincter-like areas of this giant flash ball. Now you can fly up there. Oh, by the way, none of you has touched the bile that is coming out of it. But as you look into it, you sometimes have the impression that there are eyes in there looking back at you. But then you approach closely, and that's just a reflection of your own eyes in the surface that for whatever reason looked a bit silly and googly when you were looking from afar. There are these flash bridges and cords that are coming from the ceiling, so if you don't want to fly there, you could potentially grab on those and try to climb, grab your way and traverse from the ceiling all the way to this flying meatball, and that's one way. There is, and then there are the entrances, which you can see at least 3 of these sphincter looking like, and one of them is right over here, and you can see at least another 2 on the sides here. There might be others, but according to Lumpa, she thinks that's an entrance.
I didn't catch the beginning. Is there something inside of it? Did you tell us that there's something inside of it?
Oh,
Or is
yes. Yes, you think there is a whole laboratory inside
Oh, laboratory. Okay. All right. Sorry.
of this Lord CU who is trying to create demigods in laboratory.
And what we see under this bowl is bile leaking, or is it again these kind of what is it, flesh?
Yes, no, what you see underneath is there's this very viscous bile dripping out of this flash meatball and creating this lake of bile underneath. It looks like a mix of blood, bile, and worse strips that this may be excreting, and it's covering the floor of this cave. You think it's probably poisonous or whatever the hell it is, and it's probably toxic and smells horrible. Smells like a mix of rotten meat and piss. And you guys are you're just outside, and it seems that there's no option to enter this place that is not disgusting. I'm gonna put that way.
So, can I deduce from this that wherever we enter in this bowl, we're gonna touch the bile?
Well, the bile is underneath. If you fly,
Right.
it might not have
So
bile.
it is like leaking. Is it not leaking from this thing?
Yeah, it's leaking from underneath this thing.
Right.
But in here, you don't see any bile leaking when on that sphincter that is pointing straight towards you, and those on the side. It seems to be leaking from underneath, as if it was, dripping from the inside, and then just leaking to the outside.
Can I roll a perception if there's anything else around this bowl, like outside watching us, or I don't know?
Sure. Roll a perception. You seem to be the only ones here.
Okay. Oh, guys, if it's a lab, could it be that it's worth checking it out? I mean, I don't mind going in, and if I don't come back in, say, half an hour, then you can blow this thing up.
Wow, half an hour. That's a lot of time.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. I mean, in
Oh.
combat terms, that's in D&D. In combat terms, that's a lot of time.
Isn't that like 300 rounds or something?
Quick
Yeah.
adventure, in and out, 30 minutes tops.
Then 1 minute.
Yeah. 1 minute, 10 rounds.
I think we can. Worst comes to worst, we just crawl back out, right? I mean, surely nothing could stop us four.
Well, I mean, we can just, yeah. Maybe we can tickle some muscles and we can just, get out easier.
Is the sphere, as far as we can tell, completely suspended by these flesh tendrils, or is it
Yes.
just floating in the tendril?
It is completely suspended.
Right. Okay.
Does anyone have remote explosives?
I have something. And with that, his Ixtiwul is going to cast Moonbeam at 5th level, and he's going to be targeting the tendril. Give me 1 second to get that.
Very well.
There we go.
All right.
And yeah. So a beam of dazzling moonlight just blasts down, dealing 22 radiant damage, I guess per turn, to the tendrils in a, what is that? It's a cone, right? Or no, a cylinder. It's a 5-foot cylinder of moonlight that is just going to, and he's going to be moving it each turn for the duration around the sphere in a circle, just cutting through the tendrils, causing the sphere to drop.
Well, that is certainly the intention.
Yes.
However, as the moonbeam hits that sinewy-like bridge of those flashy knotted cords that extends from the cavern tunnels all the way to the sphere, they are actually more resilient than you anticipated. Those cords seem to not be suffering any damage from the moonbeam. And as the moonbeam just passes around, it illuminates them, make them shine a little bit more pink, but that's about it.
Disappointing.
Unfortunate. Well, failing that, I guess there's nowhere to go but in.
Well, in that case, I have a good idea. I would like to cast the spell Find Greater Steed and acquire a griffin.
Yeah, a fiery griffin.
Well, I said acquire a griffin. Although if it's fiery, I won't complain. If it's fiery red, that'd be a nice color for a griffin.
Okay.
Nice sunset orange in there.
So you summon a griffin. Very well.
Yep. So we can now ride him up to the thing.
Excellent.
Not sure how many people a griffin can carry, but I'm sure it's more than one.
I mean, I can fly on my own, so.
Okay, for those who can't fly.
I cannot.
So there you go, Arleth. You fly with Money Marco in his griffin.
Anybody else need a flying companion? Also, it means we can float up and not touch it directly. You can just fly next to it and make a hole.
Excellent. And Lumpa, how are you getting there? Are you flying?
Yeah, I think I can fly. Yeah, I can fly.
Very well. So, Minimarkle, Lumpa, and Ixtihu, as all of you approach this place, you've noticed that the flash bridges and the cords, they seem to meld seamlessly into this massive structure that they are suspending. And there's this, you start to realize that this is like an orb of wet muscle and bulbous flesh. And across the surface, as you approach, you start to see, as you get closer, these incomplete faces that scream soundlessly and impossibly twisted limbs that extend outwards. It's offering some grim handholds. It's almost like, and all of it is like a pulsating mass, just and you can hear almost as if it's almost beating as if it was some sort of a heart or something, but much slower. And atop the orb, as you're flying above it, you see several kind of hulking masses that look, at first, they look like some sort of guards, but the moment you approach, you realize that those are just like, they look like decoys, or maybe their eyes works. But right on the top, it's almost as if they're looking upwards into the hole in the ceiling of the cave. They don't react to you, but they do have some humanoid / octopusy-like shape. And yes, as you circle around, you see at least 5 of these sphincter-like structures that seem to be entrances to this place. You don't see any other obvious entrance. So how many of you want to dive into this strange sphincter?
Want is a strong word.
Sphincter up close.
And that is the medical terms, folks. All right. Who is, or how do you want to, if not through there, how do you want to get in?
I would like to investigate these holes to see if they are indeed this, or if they just appear to be, or maybe are only exits.
How exactly do you want to investigate this?
Oh, I'll go fly near it and
just looking into it. Okay. They seem to be somewhat sensitive to movement, and even a small breeze from the wings of your griffin seems to make them react.
React how?
Yeah.
Well, they contract and relax.
Eesh.
It can't get more aberration than this.
Yule is going to fly up and poke at it with the tip of his glaive.
You've and as you poke, you see that the whole thing contracts itself, just like a muscle, and you guys start to realize why that's probably one of the defenses of this place. You know, no one in their right mind would like to dive inside a pulsating meatball sphincter, but somehow, to the 4 of you, that seems to be an appealing idea.
Did
might
any of
have
us
come up
bring
with the idea.
bombs?
What did you say, Lumpa?
That I might have come up with the idea. Sorry,
Yes,
guys.
yes, it's your fault. It's your theory. It is
I'm gonna
your
have some
theory that
salt.
these 5 sphincters are the entrance to this pulsating ball of flesh.
Pour some salt on it, see what happens. Desiccate them.
Does anyone have salt?
Prestidigitation can salt food.
Very well.
Get it sold
Think
the
very hard
sphincter.
about how edible it is.
Debatable.
Wow.
I think, you know,
Oh,
people have tastes. Different tastes. Should work.
Very well. So who's so I have to ask, who's first? Who's going to be the pioneer that is going to enter this place first?
I can try. I can try
It
to.
is
Very well.
Wild.
Wow. Brave Lumpa. Lumpa, as you head towards the entrance, you've noticed that this is quite a sensitive muscle. To its slightest touch, it contracts. How do you want to pass through that?
I have no clue. Give me an idea.
Give you what?
Hideous. Give me an idea. Everything's just hideous.
Um,
I don't want to be here. Let's put it that way.
do you want to roll? Oh boy. Oh boy. Do you want to roll or cast some spell or something like that?
Yeah, I could roll what, an athletics?
You can try to force your way in. Or
Right?
yeah, you can either force your way in, or you can perhaps try to get the muscle to relax.
Surprise me. How?
Roll an intelligence check, and maybe I'll give you a tip.
Right. Okay. Second. Intelligence. Where is that?
Could shock it like a tens unit.
That is one option. You can try and tase it to see if it stops reacting. Lumpa, your options are make it warm, make it cold, shock it, make it slippery. You do have a spell book that you probably have that spell grease inside of it. Perhaps
Oh god.
perhaps you can
First
get
time anyone has a real use for grease.
perhaps you can use perhaps you are going to be the first wizard that is going to use grease in order to attempt to pass through a flash-like sphincter. Who knows?
I had an idea.
Mm.
Can I cast command and tell the sphincter to open?
If it is, yeah.
Man,
If it understands you, perhaps. And you cast command, and you tell the sphincter to open, and the sphincter doesn't obey your command. Oh no! And that's not a very obedient sphincter.
I was literally gonna say that I'm just gonna get close and whisper, like, relax, everything's okay. Trying my best, but
Give it a little muscle massage.
Oh boy.
Let's I'm done. I'm done with this. What do I need to roll? Athletics? I'm forcing my way in.
You're forcing your way in. Very well.
I'll try it.
Very well. You're going with your hands, so Athletics it is. And yes, it is as wet as you can expect.
Feet first.
It is wet, is feet first. Okay, it is wet. It is it is gooish. It's like smooshy and spongy flesh. And as you put your legs there, roll an athletics.
I'll try to tuck my head down so that it doesn't go on my face.
Oh my god. All right.
Oh, just amazing.
Oh, and then
What
and
does that do?
what that do is that the sphincter contracts really hard, and you feel it's going to crack your bones. And you take
Oh, really?
36 points of bludgeoning damage from the crushing strength of those muscles.
Oh.
It's a strong sphinct.
It's a strong sphincter. And
Right.
you just feel like it's about to break your leg.
30 what? Sorry?
36 points of bludgeoning damage.
I'm not happy
You can
about that.
you can refresh your character sheets. Should be
Okay,
able.
you've already updated. Thank you.
Yeah. Guys, it's come on, Lumpa, it's you versus an sphincter. You should be able to bypass this.
I don't think I have grease.
You do have grease in your
Prepared.
spell book. You don't have prepared. Well, yeah, it's as we've learned.
As expected.
Yes, but you do have. Don't you have something like Boon of Spell Recall or something like that you can cast that without having it prepared?
Boon of Spell Recall for grease.
It is an option. I mean, you guys have so many boons.
I'd like to. I'm going to cast Aura of Purity, and I'm going to jump in behind her to shove her through.
And what? Cut what? Lumpa's truth.
No, shove me
would-
through.
Oh,
I'm
push.
gonna jump in behind and just shove through.
Oh,
You know
shove
how when
through.
you get
All
something
right.
stuck-
Very
when
well.
you get
Roll
something stuck, you jam something else behind it to get it through.
roll athletics. Yes, why not?
Can I help as well?
How exactly do you want to help?
Like, I don't know. Like, whilst he's shoving me through, I'm just like, putting
Oh.
more pressure. Or more
I'm
thrust
gonna
so I can-
shout, "Stop squirming!" as I just jam you through.
No.
And you hear that, and Lumpa, suddenly you just feel 30 is what you needed, and Lumpa, suddenly you just feel that you pass the resistance and you slide down what seems to be a much larger flash-like tube, and you just feel like, and your hair and everything in your body is covered in some disgusting goo. But I'm gonna bring to the other side well, in a moment. As you guys see, you lose sight of Lumpa. You have no idea where she is. So,
Right.
so
I
Lumpa,
have no idea where I am.
there you go. You've slide down there, and let me describe what you see in front of you for a second. In front of you, what you see are these flash. It looks like some sort of flash tubular bridge, and as you are looking into this flash tubular bridge, you do see shadows of hulking mass in a distance, and these ones are walking around. There is a source of light coming from the end of this flash-like tunnel, and as you are, it seems like a webbing. It seems like some sort of bridge to an even inner, a more interior part, as if there was a sphere inside a sphere. That's the impression you got, and it's very slippery in here. Whatever is coating these walls seem to be some sort of very powerful and very slippery oil, or some might say lubricant. How about the rest of you? What would you like to do?
Can you hear me?
I'm already however far I am into the sphincter that I had to go to get her through, so I'm just gonna continue pushing my way through.
Very well. Mini Marco, you dive in at first, and and Lumpa, you just see, and on the other side, covering this disgusting, gooish, oil-like, very viscous-like substance, you see Mini Marco, and Mini Marco, let me bring you to the next map.
Oh, hi there.
And how about the rest of you guys?
Ixtiul is going to fly a little bit away from the sphincter and cast frostbite on it, dealing 26 points of cold damage. I'm assuming that it's...
He contracts.
Well, if it doesn't pass that, yeah. Okay.
He contracts really, very, very, very strongly.
Isn't that bad?
And now how you want to pass it through it, Ixtihu?
He's gonna fly at it in like a barrel roll with his glaive pointed straight ahead of him.
Oh my god!
Like at full speed.
Roll a glaive
Like
attack for us.
Shit. This is gonna be so bad.
Oh, this is so wrong.
Oh, that is not a good roll.
No, you bet that's not your specialty. Barrel rolling and attacking, and you try to pass it, and you hit the entrance with the glaive on the wrong side, and you hit the entrance, and you can't pass through it. It didn't work this time. You can try again. Do you want to try again?
No, I think he's gonna try something else. Give me one moment. Arlith can go. Well,
Arlith, what would you like to do?
Ready.
I'm gonna. Is it still contracted from the frost damage?
It's starting to relax a little bit more now, but it's
Okay,
very
I'm gonna
sensitive muscle.
Okay, I'm gonna polymorph into a snake and just slither through.
Very well. That works like a charm. And you can cast your polymorph, and suddenly Mini Marco and Lumpa, you just see this snake passing through. And when he gets to the other side, you continue to be a snake, or you come back to be yourself?
I will come back to me. It is a dangerous form to be in, a snake.
Very well.
Polymorph does not protect me from power word kill.
Very well. And with that, Olive, you reach the other side of this slippery, gooey place, and the three of you are looking ahead to this bridge, that flash-like bridge that looks like indeed you are in the interior of some sort of canal or perhaps a flash-like vase tunnel. Ixtihu, how are you passing through?
He's going to wild shape into an octopus and lorp his way through.
So tentacles it is. Tentacles it is, and with tentacles and the flexibility of a creature that has no bones. Because I don't know, folks, if you know how octopus, they're just like water. They take the shape of whatever you put them in. And you've managed with that octopus shape and some tentacles to turn this session into a no longer PG-13 session, as the tentacles are entering the sphincter in order to penetrate into this area. And you pass through to the other side, Ixtihu, and you guys just see like this disgusting full of tentacle octopus passing through. And do you remain in that shape, or you return to your normal self?
I'm gonna take a moment to look around and taste the environment with my suction cups.
The environment tastes disgusting.
Yeah, okay, I'm gonna change back.
Very well. And now here are you inside this place, and you can see this dim purple light ahead of you, in the other side of the tunnel, and you can see some shades of creatures walking around in this dim light. You can't tell what they are yet, but you can see their shapes as they seem to be walking around this place at the end of this tunnel. They haven't noticed your presence yet. What would you like to do?
Ixthiul is going to turn invisible.
Very well. How are you doing that? You casting invisibility?
No, anytime, I mean, we're in
We
dim
should-
light or darkness, right?
Very well. Very well.
Because anytime we're in dim light or darkness, he can he can
Just
turn
as-
himself invisible as a bonus action
Excellent.
without being a spell.
Very well. Minimarkle, Lumpa, Arlith, what do you want to do?
I cannot see my token.
Do you have dark vision?
No. Yeah. Oh,
Then
I have my weapons out, which means I've got my not a spear. It's a javelin. I've got my javelin out. That thing glows.
your javelin glows. How much?
I think it's 30 feet, right? Because it's
It is 30. It's 15, 15.
30. Yeah, 15, 15, 30.
Very
If you
well.
have 17 or more levels in Paladin class, the size of the emanation increases to 30.
There you go. So you should be seeing now.
Nope.
No?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't see my token. I see some purple. Oh wait, there we go. Now I see it.
Very well.
Wait, is that bright light?
That is bright light, yes. So you're no longer
Okay,
invisible,
then I
Ixtihil.
am no longer invisible. Yeah, never mind.
And Lumpa, Arleth, what would you like to do?
It doesn't specify what kind of light. It just says emanation.
Yeah, but if it does, it's 15 foot bright, 15 dim.
Oh.
So
Alright.
Lumpa, yeah,
I'll just cast invisibility. I've got it in my in a magic item.
very well. So, Lumpa, Ixtihil,
Yeah, I think I have greater invisibility, right?
yeah.
Uh,
So you're gonna cast Greater Invisibility. Very well.
I cannot see in the dark. I am also a paladin, so I'm boldly going where no man has gone before.
Yeah, well, yeah. That I think that's a safe assumption. And as you're heading, you see that this bridge is getting very slippery. So now, every 10 feet, you gotta roll a DC 20 dex save for me, and you've been, since that threshold, 20 feet. So roll 2 dex 20 saving throws, or you fall prone on your ass. And Ixtihil, you can now go back to being visible because you are in dim light since Manimarco is delving ahead.
Does Mini Marker, do you not have True Sight?
No,
Oh.
No,
He's-
I don't know.
he's a node. He's an old school type of god that that decided that who needs to see in the dark? I'm the light.
I am the light. Well, to be fair, I walk around with light everywhere. I am the light.
Very well.
Plus, who needs stealth when you could just fight your problems out of existence? You know?
that is one way of approaching. So Manimarco, you've passed 2 checks. Go ahead, keep going.
What I'm
Oh
going
no,
to
not
do-
you, Lumpa. You don't need to do
No,
dex save. It's Manimarco who needs to do 2 dex saves. Because you're not
I'm-
stepping in that area. It's from this point onwards.
I'm still on a griffin. I don't actually need to be walking.
No, you're not. Your griffin didn't pass through. You describe yourself as passing through the sphincter. Your
Oh,
griffin is
okay.
flying outside. And
I
that's a
believe
large
so.
creature. He wouldn't have passed so easily through the sphincter.
One sec. I need to check if I could just snap my fingers and re-summon it. It's like, where's the grid?
Takes 10 minutes to resummon.
And I guess I'm going to roll back my action and move back over here and just spend 10 minutes getting my my mount back.
Very well.
I think it was
I
Okay.
guess I am also no longer.
You're no longer invisible
Oh, man.
against XTU
Yeah.
now. All right. So, Manimarco, you still have to roll for me now 4 dex saves.
I got you. Sick. 1. 2.
You fell on your ass. And you're prone there. You're slippery and fell prone. Now here's what happened. When you fell prone, and you fell on the ground, the whole muscles react, and the creatures that were now just walking and hadn't noticed you apparently did now. As the muscle reacts, apparently this draw their attention, and you can start to see their shadows moving towards the other side of the bridge, and you can all click on your tokens and roll initiative.
Hey, we did it.
Oh, and I guess I am invisible now since.
Yes,
not
now you are,
light?
because he fell on his way
Okay.
back. Yes.
Yes,
and-
the yo-yo of invisibility.
The yo-yo of invisibility, indeed.
A legendary magic item.
So I'm missing people here in the initiative. I don't have Lumpa. Lumpa, how much did you roll? And
31.
31.
Yeah.
Okay. And XT
Yeah, for some reason it's not sending it from.
I see a 16 there.
You might need
16.
to refresh your D&D Beyond or refresh your Beyond.
Beyond 20, yeah.
The first one that I tried to roll was an 8. And
Okay.
and then I rolled again because it didn't go through and I got a 16. So I think it's
Okay.
supposed to be an 8.
All right. Yeah, you may want to check if you have the latest version of Beyond 20. All right. So Lumpa, you now see that as Manimarco fell on the ground, the creatures seem to be all gathering. At the end of the tunnel, you see at least the shadows of what seems to be half a dozen creatures. What would you like to do? Oh, and now you all of you know that this area here where Manimarco fell on his ass is very, very slippery. You guys are also very slippery yourselves, with all the disgusting goo you have on top of you, the viscous goo you have on top of you.
Now, it's a
Not me.
shame
I was
aura
an
of
octopus
purity.
at the time.
You were what? Sorry? You were octopus, yes. And you...
Yeah. I was an octopus when I went through the thing, and then I turned back into regular me. So I'm
The goo-
all
goose-
shiny and clean.
The goo is still on you.
Oh, that's gross. It's
The-
gonna take forever to get out of my feathers.
Yes, and same for Olive. You're all covered in goo.
It's a shame aura of purity does not prevent you from getting covered in goo. Seems like something you should do.
So, Lumpa, what would you like to do?
I'm still invisible, aren't I not?
Yeah.
Right. Well, I guess if I attack, will I still be invisible to them?
If you attack, will you still be invisible to them? Yes, because this is greater invisibility that you've casted.
Okay. Well, I will move. Give me just 1 second, sorry. What's my speed? 65. Alright, okay. So I will move around like here somewhere. Do I need to roll anything?
Yes, from this point onwards, every 10 feet that you walk, you gotta roll a dex 20. Saving.
You've got to be joking.
Dex 20
Okay.
saving throw for every 10
How
feet.
many?
Well, you've let's start from this. Well, you shouldn't fail these checks, but yeah, it's 5. You gotta roll 5.
No. Dex what? 20?
Dex 20. So you almost failed
Oh.
that one.
God.
I mean, if you keep trying fail, you might actually do it.
Okay, I think I rolled 5 by now, right?
Excellent. Yes, you did.
Legend, real quick.
Alright.
Yeah.
My vision seems to be tied to Lumpa's token.
Mm,
Same here.
okay. Lumpa, are you release? Yes, Lumpa has bright light on her. So Lumpa has. Yeah, let me do this. Yeah, there was a mistake here. And then Arleth, you have 60 foot of true sight, right?
Yep.
Okay, and the same to you, Ixtahil?
Yeah, but he also has 120 feet of dark vision.
Excellent. All right, done. You should all be fixed now. Oh, that makes
There
more
it is.
sense now. Yeah.
Yeah.
This map makes more sense. All right. Okay, Lumpa. You now see clearly in front of you all these creatures that I have to say they look horrifying. They look utterly horrifying. There's one that looks like this. It's like a hulking brain with 4 arms. Then you have one that looks like this, like a weird mind flayer looking tentacle with a weird gun on a weapon or fire weapon on his hand. Yes, and then you have these other flying little creatures that you can't really tell what they are. They floating brains with a spy on it. Why didn't it show the image? There you go. Now it did. These floating brains with a spine attached to it still. And all these 3 types of creatures are there, almost as if it's waiting for you now to approach. So, what would you like to do?
I don't believe I am as close as I would want to them, but I don't think I have. Oh, I think I have Misty Step as what is it that I can use as much as I want, isn't it? At will.
Yeah. Yes, you do. If I'm not mistaken, your signature spells are Misty Step and
Does that still
Shield?
allow me, like,
Misty Step or
does that-
Counter Step, something counter spell.
No, I think it was shield, from what I've seen. But I don't even think I have counter spell, so maybe I'm gonna have to.
Oh, you should,
Yeah, I do have. I have some.
you should
Sorry,
definitely
oh my
have counter spell.
God. But if I cast
Yes, you can
Misty
cast
Step,
you can cast
I
shield
still
and misty
attack?
step and fly and haste. Those are your signatures and your spell mastery things.
Well, actually, it's a bonus action. So yeah, I will up to 30 feet. Okay, so I will Misty Step
Very well.
around here, and then I will do Steel Wind Strike.
And as you land, please roll a dex. Roll a dex 20. Very well. You've landed nicely.
So I will do a Steel Wind Strike,
Excellent.
and I guess the last one that I will be next to would be this one down here.
Very well.
Okay, so do I need to roll? What was that? Oh,
Now,
crit.
that's a good start. You get inspiration for that.
Thank you.
And Loompa, you've as you start the attack, roll a perception for me.
Oh, gold. 26.
Yeah. So, there is one thing you need to know. You realize the moment you step into the purple light, you have a contour around your body. So
Wow.
your invisibility is no longer applying to you. They can see where you're going. You have an outline of the purple light. All right, go ahead. 36 will hit. Double damage.
Oh, I didn't. Do you double this or do I roll again?
You roll again.
Oh, such a bad roll.
All right. Which one was your first attack?
35.
Yeah, that was what was the target? That's my question.
Oh, the big guy.
The big guy. Very well.
So
64
I have-
points of force damage on the big guy. Next one. Roll again to attack in the next one.
Oh, right, okay.
Don't recast it. Just roll the attack. Yeah.
Like that? 29?
Yeah, 29.
Does it hit?
Did you cast actually? I don't think you cast it.
Oh, so sorry. I keep on. There we go. I don't know. Did that cast it?
Yeah, now it did. So that's
Okay.
a 34 to hit. There's a 29 to hit as well. Both will hit. The 34 will give 24 points of force damage. Which one? Choose a target.
Just the one next to it,
Okay.
up there, to the right.
Very well. That takes 24 points of
Okay.
damage. Roll the damage again.
Roll
For the
damage
29.
again. A
Yeah.
34.
34.
In line, the one down.
Okay. Next. 32
33?
hit. Yes.
Okay. Get 29.
29.
damage.
Next one.
Oof, 18.
Will miss.
Oh,
And
crit again.
that you one too many. That crit doesn't count.
Why?
It's 5 strikes. You only have 5 targets.
How many didn't I roll 4 and this was the 5th?
You roll no. The 5th was the 18. And
Oh, was
and with
it?
that,
Okay.
you land near the one you've missed with the 5th strike. What else would you like to do?
Oh, since I am visible, I guess I will
Drop concentration.
yeah, might as well, and activate Blade Song.
Very well. But you can't because you use your bonus action to Misty Step. And
But
roll.
isn't that at will?
It is at will. At will means it doesn't consume a spell slot.
Right.
But it will. But it will. it will consume your bonus action. Now roll a dex save again,
Oh no.
because it's a slippery floor. And you can see that except for the Hulk, all the other creatures are floating above the ground. And with that is now the turn of one of those brain-like little creatures, and that creature will approach you, and then it attempts to attack you with the spine-like tail that it has. And here comes. That's an 18. So your AC without Blade Song is 22. Of course it is. And then with the second strike. Oh, I'm gonna snapshot this because you are not going to believe what that creature just did to hit Loompa. I'm gonna put here in the in-character chat for you folks. A double nat 20. Look at that beauty.
Them's weighted dice.
So,
Weighted.
Loompa, you take 17 points of psychic damage, which I recall correctly. Are you resistant to? No, you're not. 17 points of psychic damage, and this creature is invisible to you, completely invisible to you, despite your true sight, until the end of its next turn. So you can't see the creature that is at north of you. Understood? Very well. Mini Marco, what would you like to do?
I would. Nope, I can't. This is kind of a waste since I wasn't able to get my griffin back. But I'm gonna activate the thingy that lets me fly. The called like.
I think you're cutting off. I don't know. It's just for me.
Oh, it works better now.
No, not
Yeah.
really. Yes. Now I did.
Okay.
All right.
So I'm going to use the one trait I have that lets me fly. I'm forgetting what it's called. I think it's like something frightful angel. That's what it's called.
Okay.
I gain wings, 6 feet fly speed, and whenever an enemy starts its turn in my aura, they must make a wisdom saving throw or become frightened.
Very well.
Going to
So you get flying speed, you said?
yep, of 6.
Yeah, very well. Go ahead.
See which direction. They're too far away. So are they like to the left, to the right, straight ahead?
You can see it.
Where battle noises are
Well,
coming from?
there's only one way to go, and it's this way.
Okay, well, sure.
Oh, I realize you can see through the walls. You shouldn't be able to see through the walls, but anyway, these are walls. Anyway.
Oh, yeah, I can see right through the walls. Okay.
Yeah. It was. I don't know if they kept that just to show how beautiful the map is, but it's you're not supposed to be seeing through the walls. Very well. You are walking through a tunnel of flesh, so you wouldn't be able to see it. All right. You reach the other end. You see all those creatures. The hulking creature that looks like a brain with 4 arms. The ones that look like funny mind flayers with some sort of vacuum cleaner on their hands. And then you have the flying brain with some sort of spine as a tail. Yeah, like a crabby looking flying brain with a spine as a tail.
Well, I'm too far away to melee attack. And my only real ranged attack is throwing my javelin, which is the thing that is letting me see currently. And I might not want to throw that, especially if I, missed and it flies off into the distance.
And the ones that
Plus,
enter your aura have to do a save for. You said they have to do a save for being frightened, right?
Yeah. I think it's 17 feet.
17 what? Wisdom.
Yep, wisdom.
2 of them pass. 2 of them failed.
If I throw my javelin, I have to go recover it, right? It's not
Yes, very much. Yes. Unless it's a magical javelin that comes back to your hand.
It is very magical, but I don't think that is one of its legendary magical effects. It's returning.
Very well.
I need that case. That'd be something to was it Divine Infusion? Would that be an effect I could add to it with Divine Infusion? At some point in the future.
Very well.
Like boomerang it.
Yeah. You could potentially do
I
that.
could?
Yeah.
Alright, I was just wondering.
Or you can just get a javelin that actually comes back to your hand, which is like javelin of lightning or something like that. It's an uncommon item.
Anyways. I don't have a range attack, so I'm gonna have my turn right there.
Very well. And it's now the turn of this creature that flies. It's levitating above the ground, and it comes all the way here towards you. And it points that vacuum cleaner looking gun. Well, you don't know what a vacuum cleaner is, but it looks like some sort of tentacle mixed with a little cannon gun, like an eldritch cannon that you would see an artificer carrying, but with a little tube on the back. And then it shoots at you. And as it does, you gotta do it releases the psionic ray, and you gotta do a DC 20 intelligence saving throw to avoid. $44 points of psychic damage.
Shame. I was hoping for a status effect so I could just go Aura of Purity save.
Oh, that's not the end of the story. It's 44 psychic damage and something else if you failed. DC 20
I gotta know
intelligence save.
If it's one of the things that Aura of Purity covers, because then I'd get advantage against it.
It's not going to apply a condition, but it's going to do something else.
Okay. Fuck.
Well, oh boy. So you take 44 points. It's unbelievable. 44 points of psychic damage you take, and well, you feel that something got sucked out of your mind. And your proficiency bonus is lowered by 1. I kid you not. Your proficiency bonus is lowered by 1. And you feel that the creature just kind of siphoned your strength, but no, it's not your strength. It siphons something else. It's siphoning
level drained.
It feels like it's siphoning your memory with that psionic attack. If your proficiency bonus dropped to 0, you can't form new thoughts or speak, and you have disadvantage on everything. So, just FYI. So, right now, it drops your proficiency bonus in -1. So, it went from a 6 to a 5. I don't think there's a way you can keep track of that in your character sheet, but it went from a 6 to a 5. It will recover that after a long rest. But for the time being,
Include the disadvantage and everything.
No, that's only if you reach 0. So it's a cumulative
it's only
thing.
0? Okay.
Yes,
So
it's
right
now
now it's just negative. Okay.
Yeah, it's now at 5. So you have pretty much -1 to all your skill checks that you're proficient with.
Oh, excellent.
So if you're proficient with it, you have a -1 to everything. And then you can consider -1 to all the checks. And then it is going to do a second attack with you with a second gun, and you gotta do and that one is a cone. Yeah, but it will only catch you. So you gotta do a DC 20 intelligence saving throw to avoid 16 d6 points of psychic damage. And that's a total of 56 points of psychic damage. And that alien-looking creature gives you half as much, so that's 28. Take 28 points of psychic damage. In Manimarkle, you fought aberrations before, and just like before, you feel like you are not 100% confident on your perception when you're fighting them. But so far, you have no reason to believe that this is not just another group of aberrations under Taros, and these types, you have never seen them before. You have no idea what they are. But this creature, it's almost as if it's attacking your mind and not your body with those weapons. Arlith, what would you like to do?
Let's see. I will, I guess, start moving in. I can't move particularly fast. I get here. What I will true polymorph myself. Let's bring back, or for the first time in this campaign, we'll assume the planetar form.
Wow! All right. So you're shape-shifting into a planetar.
I'm polymorph. True polymorphing.
True polymorph into a planetar. Very well.
And I will use. I mean, I've got several spells 9th level, so.
Excellent. It's nice to be a demigod.
It is. And I already have this in my extras section. That's nice. So yeah, I will do that. And once that happens, I have True Sight 120 as well.
Yeah. I'll give you access to your planetar token in a second.
Okay.
Very well. There we have it.
I'm in a wall.
Yeah, let me put it here.
Yeah. And
there you go.
I gain what hit points? 200 is it, or 262? Those are temporary hit points.
Yes, 262.
That's a lot
and
of
you
hit
have
points now. 400 and something total.
Yeah.
Okay. And now I can move finally. I've
Yeah.
got movement.
Yeah.
So I will do that. Sorry,
And you're
the smaller spells.
and you're
The smaller
concentrating.
sheet is a lot harder to navigate. Movement. Fly of 120.
Very well.
Hell yeah, I can make it all the way in.
Excellent.
And actually, I guess I probably shouldn't go all the way because I don't have an action, right? I don't get the extra action this turn
because you used to yeah.
Right. Okay. So
you do have a bonus action which is Divine Aid. You can cast the planetar casts twice a day. You can cast Cure Wounds, Invisibility, Lesser Restoration, or Remove Curse. So you could potentially cast as a bonus action Cure Wounds on Many Marco. I think that's the best you can do. Or Lumpa.
Yeah, I can. Loompa is in the thick of it right now. I will cast it on Loompa.
Very well.
I'm assuming lesser rest though would not fix my current rehabilitation.
No, only a long rest will.
Okay.
It's healing touch. Hit points, it is freed from any curse, disease, poison, blindness, or deafness. And they gain 68 plus 3 hit points. I don't know if that applies here, but
we might be
really
looking at
sure
different. We might be looking at different.
oh, I think I might have the 2014 block.
Yes, we are in a 2024 game, so let me add you. Yes, you're looking at a 2014 version.
All right, let me add another one.
Yeah.
Category. Oh goodness, just let me search, please. D&D Beyond.
There you go. I added. Just refresh on your end. So there you go. You should have now.
Ah, I see.
There you go. You should
yeah,
have
that's
now.
way different.
Yeah. They boosted the Planetar for quite a lot. So you can now, it doesn't have Healing Touch anymore, but as a bonus action, you have Divine Aid, and you can cast Cure Wounds.
Yeah, okay. So I will do that onto Loompa.
Very well.
Which
Is
is it cast at
the normal, and it's
the normal
normal.
level.
Yes, and for Cure Wounds, you roll 2d8 plus your spellcasting ability modifier as a healing. And for the Planetar, the spellcasting ability
7.
modifier is 7, so 2d8 plus 7.
All right.
It's touch, so you need to be close to her. All right, so she heals for 15.
All right. We'll get. I haven't used Cure Wounds in so long, you know. Okay.
That's all right.
All right, and then that'll be that for now. I don't want to move away and risk proccing an attack.
Very well. And it's now the turn of the other creature that's floating there close to you and Loompa. And it's going to use a psionic pistol on you. And you gotta do a DC 20 intelligence saving throw to avoid 44 points of psychic damage.
Oof. Well, okay. Never mind.
And your proficiency bonus is reduced in 1, and you take 44 points of psychic damage. And just like it happened to Many Marco, I'm gonna put here a little I'm gonna put, what do we have here? Is this? Yeah, I'm gonna put a little black dot so you guys know that you are marked with this strange condition where you seem to be forgetting how to do things as well as you used to do it before, as if your memory is being siphoned. And with that, you take 44 points of psychic damage. And then it attacks you with a second gun on the other hand. And you gotta do another DC 20 intelligence saving throw.
Okay, that one's a little. No, never mind.
Very well.
Oh, but I get my bonuses, right? Or on this one.
You
got bonuses from others.
Yes, you do. You get plus 2, plus 2. So yeah, you've passed.
Okay.
I don't think you get from XTHU because no, you do. You have plus 6 actually.
Cool.
So you get it, and that's the end of that creature's turn. And it's now the other flying creature, little creature, is going to attack Loompa. And Loompa, that's a 23 to hit you, which, Loompa, you there? 23 to hit you.
I shield.
You cast shield, very well. So that will miss. And here comes the second attack. And that's a dirty 20, which will miss as well. Will hit your shield. XTHU, what would you like to do? XTHU?
All right.
Yeah.
Yep. I am here. Just measuring out the distances here. So, gonna start. He is going to fly just above the ground, so doesn't have to deal with all that, messy,
Very well.
slippery bridge business.
Very well.
Let's give him an altitude of, let's say, 5 feet or so.
5 feet seems to be the altitude of choice of everybody here.
Yeah. And then he's going to use Midnight Step or Moonlit Step.
Okay.
I always get that wrong. To teleport another 30 feet. I think that's 30 feet, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, about there. And then he's going to target the big guy over here and just point his finger at him and let loose a little drop of starlight from his finger and deal... Oh!
Nat 20! You get inspiration.
Yeah.
Very good.
Nice. And yeah, he's that...
The big guy?
Yep. The big brain guy.
Very well.
And he's dealing, and the little drop of starlight flies from his finger, hits this thing, and just boom! Nice little fireworks display. And he's now very sparkly. He also can't turn invisible.
You gotta roll damage again. Because of the crit.
Oh right, because of the crit.
50 points. Very good. And you can see that creature is glowing and it's in bad shape. It's struggling to stand up. And it seems to be struggling. Xthu, what else would you like to do?
He's going to use Blink Step to teleport another 30 feet, which, if my measurements are right, yep, there we go. Boop. He's right there.
Very well.
And that is the end of his turn.
Very good. And it's now the turn of the big guy, who is afraid of Manny Marco. And the creature comes out of the sight of Manny Marco, all the way here, kind of hiding behind the planetar. And then it seems to be giving some sort of a blast of psionic power as a bonus action, and suddenly you guys can see that this creature raises its hand towards you, Xthu, who hurted it badly last. And you gotta do a DC 20 intelligence saving throw to avoid 46 points of psychic damage and a reduction of your proficiency bonus in 1. Very well. You take 23 points of psychic damage.
I am resistant to psychic damage.
So you take 12. 12 points of psychic damage.
Also, my resistance to psychic damage is because of boon of energy resistance, which I think allows me to redirect as a reaction that damage.
Very well.
I'm trying to find that on my character sheet. But energy resistance. Yeah, energy redirection. When you take damage from one of the types of chosen benefit, yada yada yada, you can take a reaction to redirect it to a character to a creature within 60 feet.
Excellent.
So I'm just gonna send that right back at him. Because he's definitely within 60 feet.
Very well.
Yeah, just bam.
And as you send it back to him, you've realized that he's completely unaffected by it. you think that these creatures are probably immune to psionic powers. That's your take out of its lack of reaction. And
Fair
then
enough.
it's going to do another attack against you, and this time it raises another hand, and another blast of psionic something comes towards you. And you gotta do a DC 20 intelligence save, and that's a cone, but I think it only... Oh no, you'll catch Loompa. Loompa, you gotta do that one as well. That's a DC... Oh, and the Planetar as well. All of you there in that in the cone gotta do a DC 20 intelligence save to avoid 56 points of psychic damage right here. 30-foot
I
cone.
failed the save, but I am still resistant.
Very well. So you take 28, and Loompa, you've passed. You take 28. Planetar. Planetar. Yeah.
Sorry. I'm back.
You've passed. You take 28. Go ahead and roll an intelligence save, DC 20.
Yeah, sorry. I'm getting... I was having computer issues, but there we go. 21, so...
Very well.
unfortunate.
28
is total.
28 points of damage. Oh yes, oh no, even with the plus 6 XT heal, you still don't pass. Oh wait, Manimarco. How much does your yellow aura gives to saves?
Oh, I will click on the javelin. Oh, I have 2 auras on right now, so I'd have to tell you both. The javelin's aura is advantage and saving throws against spells and other magical effects.
Okay,
No, I
so
also actually have that.
so you have advantage, so you can roll.
Reroll my
You
initiative.
can. No, you've passed. So that won't change anything. It was a DC 20 and you rolled 21.
Plus 3 on saving throws.
And plus 3 on saving throws. Okay, that's better than the plus 2 from the mythical aura. So that's the one that counts when you are in the yellow area, because they don't stack. So so if that is, you have a plus 3. Yeah. So you have a plus 3. You have one more, so you passed actually, XT heal. You don't even need to roll again. So I'm gonna give 14 back to you. And Planetar, you've passed, so you took 28 instead of 56.
Going to use my inspiration to reroll my con save.
Your con save? For what?
Concentration check. for
Oh, yes,
getting
please. Yes. By all means, do that.
All right, there we go.
Very well. Very well. And with that, that creature has still one more attack for you, XT heal. It attacked 3 times per turn, and it attacks you with another DC 20 intelligence check. Intelligence save, sorry. Very well, you've passed. Very well, you've passed, and as you've passed, you've noticed that this creature was... That was not an attack. The creature was screening your body. It's almost as if you feel like it was learning about you. And we're back at the top of the initiative with Loompa. But Loompa, hold that thought. Let's take a quick bio break, everybody. And we'll be back in 10 minutes or so.
All right.
All right. I guess Loompa is not back yet. All right. Who wants to? Let me bring you guys back to the fray. Who wants to switch turn with Loompa? I guess since you have to. Well, since Arlie has to go in 5 minutes to stay 5 minutes, or it's 10 minutes to stay 5 minutes, perhaps you should start.
Yeah, I can go. In case
All
the
right.
round ends up taking that long.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a pretty simple turn. It's actually a much simpler stat block for me.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
So I think I'm just gonna multi-attack
Mm.
and do the Holy Burst twice.
Very well.
Any enemy within a 20-foot radius sphere centered on a point I can see. So I mean, it doesn't really matter. I can get all of them pretty easily.
Very
So I'll
well.
choose right here. And then I will do this twice. Dex save.
Holy
DC
Burst.
20,
Very well.
23. And then again.
So you burst with holiness inside this place. And shine. Can you describe to us how does that look like?
Radiant. Just a white pulse of cleansing light to push back the chaos of these aberrations.
Very well. Very well. And they take half a damage on a success, right?
Let me double check. I believe that's the case. Yes. Yeah, half damage.
All right. Let's this. Do I have something holy here that I can, like? No, that's too small. We need something. No, that's still too small. We need some sort of explosion. Something like holiness all over, or oh, there you go. They do have a burst. There you go.
Nice.
Burst of holiness all around. And and with that attack, the hulking brain falls to the ground and is dead. The other little two creatures that were there fall to the ground and they're both dead. And the other two are still standing. They're pretty good actually. Nothing really happened to them. Planetar, what else would you like to do?
I'm not gonna take about. I only have one more use of that. I'll save it just in case. I will just sit here and hopefully draw the aggro of these two, so that the other two can get some hits in.
Very well.
So I'll pass turn.
Excellent. Marco, what would you like to do?
Murder potentially.
Okay, I guess.
Yeah, I'm going to. It's too bad, actually. I think I'm with it.
I'll be back in just a minute.
Very well.
If I get hit, my con saves are plus 12.
Very well.
Come over here. This guy's got to get the good old-fashioned three-whack.
Okay. Old-fashioned three-way. Okay. This session was no longer PG-13 since they start, but yeah.
To be fair, I said whack and not whack.
Okay. And both full hit.
There's.
Oh, wait. There's something that happens when that Hulk hits the ground with 0 hit points. It bursts into a psionic scream. And everybody in the room, all you guys, gotta do a DC 21 Wisdom saving throw to avoid 12d6 points of psychic damage. And that will be 49 points of psychic damage. Marco, you don't fail because of the auras. And same for Lumpa. And for the Planetar, let me roll a save here for the Planetar. Wisdom save. Planetar, roll a nat 20. So it passes, and with that, all of you pass. You take only half of that, so you take 25 points of psychic damage.
And in my case, I take half of that because I'm resistant, right?
So yes, you take 13, and everybody else takes 25. Sorry, Manimarco, I'll resolve your action in a second. And 25 on the planetar, and 25. The reason why I'm doing this is because if you fail this check, it would break your concentration. So so the planetar would have been gone back to be Arlet. So now go ahead, Manimarco. What would you like to do? You were saying?
I did my 3 attacks. So
3 attacks for a total of, we have 32 plus 28, which is 60, plus 25, 85 points of damage altogether. That creature is dead. Can you describe the attacks to us?
It takes, 2 swift pokes from my javelin, and he slides around to the side and bashes his head in with his and goes smush.
Very well. You're still cutting off, by the way. So I caught the gist of that, but very little.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know what's wrong today. Maybe I need to charge these headphones.
Try and disconnect and connect again on Discord or something. That should help. Or close Discord and reload again. And the next one was the creature you've just destroyed, and then we have Loompa. Loompa, what would you like to do? Are you there? Loompa?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah. What would you like to do?
Right, so... Is it just one left?
Yeah.
Or is there...
Yes, it's one left in front of you.
Okay. Was there an invisible one as well, or no?
It just got killed by a burst of radiant light by that flying green angel by your side that has fiery hair. You see. I just want to say the player that's playing Cthulhu plays Drazov on Payback is a Lich on Fridays, which is also a stream campaign, and he came up with the trend of the continual flame hair. I just want to defend it. That's total rip off that angel is doing that.
I mean, what can you say? When you're just that awesome, people are gonna rip your style.
I guess. Yep, that might cover it. And and as you can see, it's like I'm looking at the hair. The only thing I can think of is of Drazov. All right. And with that, go ahead, Loompa. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna go light and go with Ray of Frost on it.
Very well.
2 times. And by the way, well, I guess, yeah, that's it.
Very well. Ray of Frost 2 times on this creature. Very good.
So 49
That's
in total.
that's some pretty harsh Ray of Frost. Wow, that's 49 points of Ray of Frost of cantrip. Okay, and its speed is reduced by 20 feet. Wow. Okay. I guess don't mess with the mother of the force. So. What else would you like to do, Lupa? You still have your bonus action and movement.
I think I will actually activate the blade song. Why not?
Very well.
Yeah, might as well.
How does the humming of your blade song goes?
I'm still thinking. I'll think about it.
It's something like.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, that does it.
Very well.
Definitely not the Star Wars.
Definitely not what.
I said definitely not the Star Wars theme. Definitely not.
No. That's a ripoff of Wolf of Wall Street, and and Lumpa, is that that's the end of your turn? Okay, so with the blade song, you get +10 on. Is it +10? Yes, +10 on your AC. Because of their ridiculous intelligence, and +10 on your speed, right?
All right. I see a +9 here.
A +9 on your intelligence.
No, on I don't know. Am I not reading right? You gain a +9 bonus to your AC, and my walking speed increases by 10 feet.
Oh, look at that! Wait, what happened?
It's not
Something's
calculating
changed.
correctly.
There's something. No, your.
There's something not working, isn't it?
Yes, something is not working. There's a bunch of things you need to go into your character sheet in the background and select, because I think when the previous player transfer you,
told me, yeah.
when the
He
previous
actually told me when I opened it that I need to do something. Yeah.
in the background, yes,
features and traits, yeah.
yeah, because you lost. Your stats are not like I remember. So you have 30 dex, 30
I'll try
intelligence.
to figure it out by
Yeah.
the next session, because yeah.
Very well.
It's so wild
But it's-
amount of stats, but
Yeah, it's pretty broken. Yeah.
I'm back. Sorry about that.
Very well. And with that, is that the end of your turn, Lumpa?
Yeah, that would be it.
All right. And it's now the turn of the guy in front of you, who is going to try and do his best to attack you. So, Lumpa, you're gonna do a DC 20 intelligence save to avoid 42 points of psychic damage. And having a proficient... Oh, okay. Never mind. You get inspiration from that. And
That was bad, thank you.
and then you got to do another one. And this time is to avoid 56 points of psychic damage. Very well. You take 28 instead. And from the previous one, you took 21 points of psychic damage. And that's the end of this creature's turn. Ixtihul, what would you like to do?
It's going to moonlit step behind this thing.
Oh yes, now I have to. I keep forgetting because I don't have the habit of doing this. In 2024, we tell you guys when the creature is bloodied, and this creature is bloodied.
Oh, all right. And he is going to attack with his glaive, which he now has. That's a nat 1, but luckily, because of Moonlit Step, he has advantage on that roll, and
Excellent.
that's a nat 20.
Wow, what a recovery!
Nat 1 to a nat 20.
You get
Wow,
inspiration for that. What a recovery!
He's already got it. Does anybody else need inspiration?
Does anyone else needs inspiration?
If Mana Marco
Yeah,
doesn't,
take it.
I could. Okay.
But actually,
Yep.
no, I don't. Never mind. We long rested. I got one automatically.
So Arlet,
I got an inspiration before as well, by the way. If I can pass it to someone, amazing.
well, Arlet, you got an inspiration. I'm giving one too many inspirations in this game. That's you guys are too spoiled.
That's all right.
Or just orders, like it's like a stim pack, you know.
Yeah.
Or a healing item. You never use. it,
You're
and
already,
then you just-
you're already demigods. Why do you need inspiration for? You should be giving inspiration to the others, not taking away. All right.
Okay, so the base damage there is 9, but because this thing's got like a bajillion frickin' extra things that go with it, Give me one moment to figure out.
You
how
gotta
much
you gotta
extra
roll damage twice. Yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah, okay. So let me roll the damage again and then figure out the rest
Yeah.
of the whole thing. All right, so that's
Another
17
Yeah.
damage. That is 17 slashing damage, and then there's going to be some force damage in addition,
Okay.
which is yeah. There is 8 force damage, and is that everything? I think.
You should. Is that the double because of the crit?
No, that
Then
that
roll
was
again.
the force.
Then roll the force
Wait,
damage
that
again.
also gets doubled?
Yes, the entire damage pool gets doubled by the crit.
Oh, wow. Okay, I didn't realize that.
Very well. And now describe your
Oh.
attack to us.
So he just appears behind this thing out of nowhere. Just blink, like just poof, he's there, and just swings his glaive straight through this thing's like backbone. I'm not sure if this is a killing blow, but if it is, then he's just carving it in half.
That is definitely a killing blow, as this creature, in all its incredible number of tentacles and that strange weapon, all fall to the ground, motionless, which you assume probably means dead. But, you know, they are alien enough that all these creatures you see on the ground, they all seem a bit out of the ordinary for you to have any clue about their anatomy. They're all very, very strange. Even for you guys who have experienced the depths or I should say the depths of the shallow of the far realm, it's still, these creatures seem, you haven't seen anything like it. That's not a mind flayer in the strict sense of the word. It does look like something like a mind flayer may have come from, like an ancient type of dark looking mind flayer. I mean, some of the tentacles just merge with the shadows, and it's using this sort of mask, almost if it needs a mask to breathe. It's very strange. So, now that they are all on the ground, let me describe the room for you guys. So, around here, in this room, you see, after defeating these guards, I guess, in the middle of the room, there is a flattened surface where you stand now, and at the center there is this 30-foot radius, kind of a metallic or strangely metallic dome that is covered with a thin layer of membrane. Very thin, semi-transparent. You can barely see it. The only reason why you see it is because there's something glowing on top of this metallic thing in the center. The rest of the room just looks like entrance to the outside. And there's a gravity plane in here that is pulling you towards the floor of this layering surface. You feel like you are standing... It almost feel like you're standing in an eye by the shape of this. You look at the ground and it feels like an iris, as if you're standing there. So, what's next, guys? That was not a rhetorical question.
Okay, we're out of combat then. Alrighty then.
You are out of combat. Very much out of
We're not-
combat.
I can take a closer.
Go
I can
ahead.
take a closer look at the membrane and then see if I can get a. What would you do? Do you know what? Do I know anything about what is happening inside that glowing metallic sphere?
I regained 48 HP.
Very well. And you have no idea, but you see that the latch has he has oh, that's not what I want. The latch has two cuts that go side by side, an equator and a meridian, and it seems to be cutting this in four parts.
Ixthu is going to cast Mass Cure Wounds to restore 34 points of health to everybody.
Excellent.
Appreciate it.
That won't affect me, but yes. Because they're temp HP now, so it's...
Yeah. And 34 to Mini Marco. All right. So, you've rolled an investigation. Did you roll an investigation, Planetar?
Yes. Okay. Proficiencies, none that apply. So just that's wisdom, right?
Give me 2 seconds. Yeah. Yes.
There you go. And I don't have any applicable proficiencies or anything, so.
All right. You've realized. No, investigation's intelligence. Sorry, I should have corrected that.
Oh. Intelligent. It would just be 23 instead of 25.
Yeah. If you click. Okay. Very well. As you look around, you think that this membrane is some sort of protection that prevents the four-sided door to open. You think this dome opens kind of like a flower, just each one of these doors like a petal, and just opens, and it opens a tube or a tubular section for you to go in. There's no all the other entrances to this place just seems exactly like the one you got in. So you deduce that this is probably the only entrance to go deeper inside this dungeon. And given the fact that there were guards here, you think that they were protecting this entrance somehow, and they were the first layer of defense. Now, that membrane seems pretty thin. You think it's probably protecting this thing not against physical attacks, but perhaps against magical attacks.
Okay. Well, do we I guess we want to go deeper, gang, yeah?
Do you want to go deeper?
Yeah.
Well, we gotta find and kill the guy. That's the point, right? The whole point of coming here is finding and killing the guy.
I'm sorry, it's very, very hard not to make pun and innuendos jokes in this place. It's unbelievable. I'm sure some of you must be. It's almost like I feel like my. I'm gonna have my nose bleeding at some point. So many jokes I'm trying to resist not to do. So go ahead, guys. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I'll try and see if I can just rip the membrane. I've got a sword.
Very well. Is that a magical sword?
Probably. It's
Oh.
called a radiant sword.
Very well. As you, radiant is a magical damage. So, you try to cut the membrane of your sword, and it doesn't work.
It does 48 slashing, or sorry, 2d6 plus 7 slashing.
Nothing
wait.
happened to that very thin, ridiculously thin membrane.
Well, that's about all I can do in this form. So
Can I just walk over and like put my fist through it?
Through the membrane.
Yeah, just like knife hand, boom, and then like pull it apart.
Yes, you try to pull the membrane apart, and it's incredibly elastic. And you try to pull it with your full strength. Nothing happened.
Huh.
And I assume you are all stepping on the bodies of those creatures that were on the ground.
Aggressively. Actually, no, I'm still floating.
Oh,
Never
you're
mind.
floating, yes. Lumpa is the one stepping on the corpses.
If I was walking, I would step
Yeah,
on them
no,
aggressively. But I'm flying, so I'm just gonna float over them. Tempest.
Very well. You try to rip off the sword of the planetar, didn't cut it. You try to pull it apart, it didn't cut it. What's next, guys?
Yule is going to jab it with his glaive.
Very well. Is that a magical glaive?
It is indeed a very magical glaive.
It does nothing to the membrane.
You know, I ever had the problem being we don't have a magical
we're
weapon.
too magical.
Well, that's the problem with being gods. All of our shit is really fancy.
Anybody have like a dagger?
Talk about the hard humble bragging. Damn.
I've got a dagger in my other body.
You want to drop concentration?
If nobody else has a non-magical weapon, yeah, I can do that.
Give me a second. I can wild shape into something that doesn't have magical properties.
Very well.
I just need to, find a thing.
And when you wild shape, your weapons are not magical?
I have no idea. But I figure it's worth a shot. Or, worst comes to worst, I'll turn into an octopus again and just warp through.
Very well.
Oh, wow. This game got very weird on me. Yeah, I think he's gonna turn into a mammoth.
What?
Very
Just
well.
Stand on it with a. It'll break.
What kind
What
of
now?
druid are you, pray tell? What kind of druid, I guess?
Circle of the Moon druid.
I don't know if it's different in 2024, but Circle of the Moon druids after level 6, their attacks count as magical.
Yeah.
Their beast form attacks.
I think that they're as I understand it, and I could be wrong. So feel free to fact check me here. But my understanding is that I have the option to make their like when in beast form or when wild shaped. I have the option to infuse my attacks with magic.
You're correct.
I thought it was one of those things where like.
Yeah, it's improved circle forms, and you can choose in your wired shape if you want to do normal damage or radiant damage as a choice.
Right.
So they turned into a choice. So you're right. In 2024, perhaps it's they fixed that, and you can now try to actually just do normal damage. What is that you turned into?
A mammoth.
Very well. A mammoth. Okay.
Swap that into
very well
thing, and yeah. So I'm just gonna, I guess, do a gore attack at the ground.
At the ground.
Well, at the membrane.
At the membrane. Okay. Oh, because the dome is coming out of the ground. Is the dome is it's like it's occupying up to 5 feet or so height.
Like a bubble?
Yeah, like a half a bubble. So attached to the ground. So
I may have misunderstood the actual situation here.
Yeah, so this is a dome shaped structure. You think it opens like a flower because of how it's cut in 4 sections. But there is a thin membrane that covers it and connects to this iris thing on the ground. Now, when you pierce, you pierce this membrane quite easily, actually, with your horn. And you pull it through, and it rips it off. And as it rips it off, now you can see that there is this sort of metallic thing on the other side, and you can see the little crevices here, the little cuts and divisions, but doesn't open immediately as you rip off the membrane with your and immediately after you rip off, you've noticed that the membrane starts to regenerate very fast. So, what do you guys want to do now that you bypass the membrane?
Now that it's pierced, can I hold it open?
Hold what open? The membrane?
The membrane, yeah.
Yes, you can try and yes, you pull it apart and you try prevent the 2 pieces to reconnect, and you're holding just like a sheet you're holding from covering the dome. What's next? And Xtihil, are you staying in the mammoth form?
Yeah. As Xtihil sees the membrane starting to reform, he's going to just furiously gnash at it with his tusks.
Very well.
To just keep it to stem the tide.
And you continue to pull that off and you rip it off, and now Minimark much easier. It's going to take some time to regenerate, perhaps a minute or two, which means you guys have a minute or two to figure out how to pass through these metal doors.
Well, try and pry them open first.
Yeah.
The simple thing.
How do you want to do that?
We could see. Are there actually gaps, or is it like flush together?
They are shut together. Yes, just like airtight shut.
No room to fit my big Clanatar fingers, unfortunate.
No. No obvious way of doing that.
Unfortunately, not a lot of utility spells as the polymorph planetar. If anybody else has any ideas, otherwise I can drop. I've got a lot of potential utilities as Arliss.
I can resummon my griffin, and that's about all I can do. That or hit them.
Very well.
Do you have any ability to scan the room to check for potential I don't know, something to open it?
There's not much to see here, guys. As you look around, this room is made of flesh, and it looks, quite frankly, like you're standing in the middle of an eye. It's like the shape of an eye, and that is this metal thing just right in the middle, and you just ripped off the outer membrane, and now you have no idea how to open these 4 parts. Probably the creatures you've killed, they had some sort of code or some sort of ability that would open these doors.
If it's an eye, and this is the iris, maybe we need to get rid of all of the light so the iris expands.
Well, the light in the room is coming from the ground here, from this area.
Oh, okay.
I
thought we were the sources of light in this room.
No, there is a dim purple light that is coming out of this area. You guys also are a source of light, but this one is generating its own light.
Okay. I will search the baddies, the dead guys.
Very well.
Yeah.
Roll perception.
Yeah. Hold on, that's the wrong perception. This one is the one I want. And that one is a wisdom score. So, oh, actually, I've got proficiency. So, cool.
You are under the impression there's nothing obvious in their body, and you are under the impression that it's probably some sort of psionic command that will open this door.
By the way, I checked and I think I have possible. Would that help?
Well, you can certainly try. All right. So, Necrolumpa. Necrolumpa. Sorry, that's the force of habit.
Different campaign.
Loompa. Loompa. Let's see. A passage appears at a point you can see on a wooden plaster or stone surface within range for the duration. That's a problem. This is a metallic surface.
Right, okay.
So it won't work here. You cast a spell, but it doesn't work. It seems that this is truly metal.
Not really.
You guys can roll investigation.
Again, different. I guess
It's you roll perception before. So Planetar, you think there's some sort of psionic ability to open this, and perhaps some sort of psionic power will help. Xthu, you're drawing a complete blank. All you can think about is how disgusting your tusks look like now that you've ripped off that membrane with it.
Yeah, I mean, he is a mammoth at the moment, so he's mostly just focused on just, shredding that membrane.
Very well. And so, do any of you has psionic powers that could potentially try and test to open this? Test the theory of Arlith the Planetar?
I mean, I've got telepathy, but just as like a language thing.
Does the spell command count?
No. I mean, there is the mother of the force in here. You would expect that someone that has this sort of powers would have some sort of telekinetic ability. I'm just guessing.
I do.
Are you waiting for an invite?
No, I'm looking at. I'm trying to find.
I'm gonna.
the telekinetic thing.
Let's put a.
Telekinesis is a feat.
Yes. There's a spell as well.
Thank you.
Oh.
Right, got it. Found it. Okay.
There you go. There's a lot more things in this character sheet than the last time you've played Loompa. So
many.
I understand.
Many. Okay, so I'll try to telekinetically shove.
Very well.
So is there anything that I need to? Because I don't think I need to.
You try to telekinetic shove, yeah. As you do telekinetic shoves on this door, you guys immediately hear the sound of indeed something opening, like, and the four doors open just like you anticipated, Arlit Planetar. And as you look down, there is this tunnel going downwards, made of metal. And you lose sight of the end of the tunnel. It's very dark, and you can't see the end. Planetarlith. Oh yes, that's you get inspiration for that.
Yeah, double.
Planetarlith. How I didn't see that. All right. All right. So you start to. How do you want to do this? Because now this is just a. As this opens, let me put there. It's just a massive dark passage towards deeper into this dungeon. Let me put. So.
Oh, the void.
Yeah.
So the angry mammoth that was moments earlier just raging against the membrane is just gonna charge forth and drop into the hole.
Very well. You're just
And
gonna
also
fall.
drop wild shape. He's
just-
gonna drop wild shape as he starts to fall and resume his normal form and just fly down it. But he is charging into the hole as a mammoth to start with.
And you fall as a mammoth, and you drop wild shape midway through, and then you fly. Is that what you understand?
Yes.
So you just wanted to keep us on our toes.
Yes.
Very well. As you fly down, what about the rest of you?
Well, I still have wings, so float.
Excellent.
I fly in this form, so I
Very well.
Fly down.
And
I'm here.
you're gonna fly, Lumpa? You're gonna cast fly? Very well.
Yeah.
Very well. You're using, I assume you're using as a spell signature, spell mastery or something like that.
Exactly. Yeah.
Very well. All right. So with that, the four of you descend into the next level of this place, and it is extremely cold. You can all roll Constitution saves, DC 20. Simply against this cold, it's like you're entering a freezer. Oh, Ixtihil.
Should have stayed a mammoth.
Hey,
Manny
yeah.
Marco, you very warm from all that exercise.
I'm a glowing radiant pillar of light. I am radiating heat.
And
Stand close to me. Be warm.
as you reach the next level, Ixtihil, you roll again. I assume you use your inspiration. I can't hear you if you're talking.
Oh, sorry. I didn't realize I was muted. Yes, I used my inspiration to reroll.
Very well, very well. And on that note, as all of you reach the next level, you realize you are in this very odd chamber, and there are two of those creatures in here that seems to be paying attention to the room. And let me describe the room, because the middle there, where you are seeing that metal landing spot, is about 20 feet it's on the ground. It's about 20 feet from the tube, the dark tube you came through. As you reach that chamber, in this frigid chamber, you can see your breath just curls up in white wisps, and a sheen of frost clings to everything in here. There are gnarled hooks made of extruded bones and teeth dangled from the ceiling. Each hook suspends a mutilated humanoid or a monstrous corpse. Along the north wall, half of a troll hangs over a footlocker made of flesh. Meaty growths have overtaken every surface, partially burying 10 coffin-like metal pods that circle this chamber all around. At the south end of this chamber, there's a huge metal plate that protrudes from the fleshy floor. In the middle of this square platform, an embedded 10-foot purple crystal hums with energy. As you look to the north, you see these two scientist creatures. One is originally attending to the troll, and another one seemed to be attending to one of the pods to the south, to the northwest. And well, as the moment they see you inside here, you can all click on your tokens and roll initiative again. And the first thing they do as they turn to you and prepare to attack is that they release this very high-pitched screech all over the room. And from behind each one of those pods, you suddenly see a lot of those other creatures that, oh, this one comes from here, that start to float from behind those pods. And they all seem to have you surrounded. So the fun didn't end yet. And again, I don't have Arleth and Ixtihu and Loompa. Let me add you guys.
Yeah, I rolled a 12. For some reason, it's still not.
And Loompa, how much did you roll?
A 32.
At 32.
Yoink.
Very well. And you've as you are all in this room, and you feel that you just walked into a nest of these creatures. There's no obvious exit of this room except the one you just flew, but then you just flew in from. Then you hear those doors up there as they close, and the purple light that was coming from the top of that tube is now closed, so you are locked in. The creatures that turn their attention to you, you feel as if they're trying to communicate telepathically, or perhaps it's something else. You all hear a familiar voice, a voice you heard before, saying, You are again having your curiosity driving you into the businesses of the far realm, into yet another incursion of what you call madness into the material world. But fear not, this will only drive you closer to more answers that you look, or perhaps it's more questions that you look for. And you all recognize that voice of the Void Scriber in your minds, as if he could see you in here. And guys, I'm going to give you a few seconds to think about how you want to do this, because it seems you are locked in here. They're doing experiments above you. There's a bunch of corpses, and they seem to be. You are in a very cold room. The floor seems to be moving. All four of you are flying, so at least that. You are definitely surrounded, and it seems you may have fallen into a trap. I mean, all your spider senses are tingling. So I'm gonna give you just a few seconds to try, role play your way into this.
What's the dead thing in the corner? Oop, but I'm gonna move.
That's a death roll. That seems to be slowly regenerating.
Okay. Only out. Are you? I'm just gonna go out on a limb and assume that teleporting out of here will not work, and will not try it. For now.
Yeah, it's probably a safe assumption.
Maybe we could try. Lupa, try and reopen that door before the membrane grows back. Might already be too late though.
I mean, trying to open it from the inside is probably not gonna work.
The tension is definitely building. Money Markle, Lumpa, how exactly, what is going through your mind right now?
Something along the lines of, I wish we killed that guy last time.
What guy? The Void
Yeah,
Scriber?
the Void Scriber. Yeah.
Oh, all right. And, well, if I'm not mistaken, one of you tried, right? But then you got melded into the ground.
Yeah, no, he's real strong.
I think that was Marco, yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't tried. Yeah.
Tried to, yeah. I don't want to name names, but I already did.
No,
And
that sounds like something he did.
it was definitely you.
You know, see, he's definitely thinking he should have killed that guy last time. Makes sense. And, you know,
And Lumpa, what is going through
Marco
your...
has the intelligence of 10. He's not, he's a bit stubborn.
And Lumpa, what is going through your mind right now?
Yeah, not happy with the situation. Clearly it's a trap.
Clearly. Yeah, that's for sure.
But I guess I mean there's no other way. We gotta get rid of all of these. And
Very
then
well.
figure out how to get out again.
Very well. You've been looking for someone in here. You came here because you were looking for this guy. Now comes a little quick surprise quiz for all of you. Do you remember his name?
It's in here somewhere. I didn't take detailed enough notes.
No, I do not remember his name.
Seal.
Good job. Lord, yes, it was Lord See You. Like, see you later. Lord See You.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, that's right. It was kind of stupid like that.
Yeah. See, I didn't ask you how to spell it, so I spelled seal. Like SEAL.
Oh, very well. It works. Doesn't matter.
Lord Seal.
Very well. You came here looking for Lord Seal, but you have no idea how he looks like. For all you can tell, even that troll dying on the ground could be Lord Seal. How do you know who is Lord Seal?
I should have legend lorded.
Well, I mean, the goal was kill everyone. So as long as everyone here is dead at the end, we'll be fine.
What was it? Was it kill everyone? Was it was it to discover what this guy is doing as he's trying to create demigods in laboratory?
Well, he's trying to create demigods in laboratory, and the answer to creating demigods in laboratory is usually murder them. Don't do that. That's heresy. No heresy.
I don't know if we're high enough to in the pecking order to make that decision.
I mean, well, this dude's just a mortal, right? Mortal shouldn't be doing that.
Well, I hope you guys are ready for this very good fight, and you can get ready for about a week because we'll conclude this session here tonight, and we'll continue this fight. We'll start this fight next week. For those of you who've been watching us, thank you very much for watching. If you haven't noticed, we have surpassed our 500 subscriber milestone, and we are celebrating that with a giveaway. If you go to the posts in our YouTube channel, you'll find all the details of the giveaway there. We have some D&D Lego minifigures that we're giving away and some cool collector stamps from Royal Mail. Anyone can participate, so feel free to join. And if you haven't yet, please subscribe to our channel. That way you know that every time we are live or there's new and cool stuff that we're posting, there's a lot of cool stuff coming in the future for you guys. So with that, thank you so much for watching, and we'll be back next week with these guys trying to find Lord CU in this sphincter eye meatball laboratory. And on that note, have a good night, everybody.
See you later.
Bye-bye.